In this video, we want to show you how you can use another special effect. This one's called a lens flare. It's kind of fun to use. It can be used for a variety of applications, but let's just take a look at using the basic controls to make a lens flare work. So here is an example of what you could do with a lens flare over an image. Alright, so we've just simply applied the flare, adjusted the brightness of the flare and the motion of it, and just had it kind of move and then kind of fade away into the horizon there. So let's go ahead and do that. Step one is go ahead and grab an image. And so I've got this one here at the beach over in Northern California. And you can see it's too large, and from a previous video we realized that we can right click and scale to frame size. And so that's step one, is get the image that you want to work with. Then the next step is to come on over to your effects and come on over here and we'll do a search. And we're looking for something called the lens flare, so we can type in lens, and there it is right there, lens flare. Drag that on top of your image, and there's the flare showing up right about in the middle. Click on your effects controls, and here's the effect. And what we will work with here in this beginning lesson is the flare location and the brightness. Notice that we can adjust that brightness. I'll go ahead and type that back to 100%. Also, we can move it, the location. Now, to get the motion that we want, we are going to have to insert some keyframes. So the first step to do that is to activate the stopwatch there, toggle animation on, and then you see our keyframe. And we had used these in previous lessons when dealing with motion, so it's the same kind of a deal. And we'll also work with the brightness here in just a minute. So the first thing to do is put it to our starting point. So we want this thing to come over about there, and then we want to raise that up. And so we'll have that flare start up there in that corner and then move on down the horizon here, or maybe put it over here behind these mountains. Okay, so that's our beginning spot. So we can go ahead and move this keyframe to the beginning. And we'll keep that brightness at 100%, but we have to also turn that on. So we want to come back to the beginning and have that brightness in that same location there. So we can go ahead and toggle that on, and we're going to have that at 100%. And so we'll put that there at the beginning. And then at some point during the path of this picture, in fact, I'll just go ahead and make this picture last a little bit longer here. Add about 3 seconds to it and just get a slow effect here. And so somewhere about here, we want this thing to fade out. About 3/4 of the way through. So we need to insert another keyframe. We could just go ahead and insert that by changing the size or the position. And we're going to have it out there and then drop it down there. But then also as it goes down, we want that thing to fade. So it looks like it's kind of going behind that mountain. So I'll just put it there. And then I need to insert that keyframe right here. So it'll be at the same point. And there it is. So now we can adjust that brightness to what we want it to fade to. So we can go all the way to 0. Take it to about there. And so now as we play that image, there we go, flare streaking across the sky and fading away. So that's it. That's the lens flare. So give that a try, trial and error practice, and come up with some different ideas on how to apply the lens flare.